shock, startle, stagger, stun. And there's one more sibilant synonym suitable to this situation. Oh, I almost made it. I almost made it.
So
I was
close.
practicing that in the car on the way here. But there is one more sibilant syllable suitable to this situation.
Oof.
Second time's a charm. But all in good time. We'll get there. We don't want to ruin anything. First things first, as always. Hello, Frank. Hello, Martin. Hello, listeners.
Do we all say hello at the same time?
I
Hello,
did
Mr.
list everything at the same
Brendan.
time.
Hello, Mr. Brennan.
Oh, man. Wow, that's a time machine,
Hello,
isn't it?
Mr.
They still do that, don't
Brendan.
they? It's still big like that monotonous melodic
Mhm.
when it
Still happens.
Yeah, it's still.
Yeah.
I guess it's
Yeah,
just
wow.
it's just one of those fixed points. You know, yeah, you're never going to change it. Kids will always respond back to the teachers in that weird. We had one when I was in Jasper Road Primary School when we lived in Sydney, and this is like late 80s, and it was like, oh man, it took it to the next level. It was like, good morning, children. Good morning, Mrs. Barbara. How are you today?
Oh, wow.
Very well, thank you. How are you today? Very well, thank you. And that was how it went.
Wow,
And they
that
really
was the
took it to
script.
the next
Yeah.
level. It was a public school, but they did this thing. We sang the national anthem in the mornings. I don't think there was every morning. I think it was just at certain
Yeah.
mornings. But before we sang it, we sang, sing a song about the flag, for it's red and white and blue. Sing a song about the flag and its country too.
Wow.
Australia. No, it was really, that was
Did
something
you
that.
go to school in the 40s?
I know, right? It was so weird. And like our American listeners
I'm
must
so
be.
glad you missed the draft.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. Our American listeners might be thinking, because they do the
That's
Pledge of
pretty
Allegiance
standard.
and stuff.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's not really anything like that in
No,
Australia.
not anymore.
Except for Jasper Road Primary School in 1989. But there you go.
This episode of the Hammerbomb Project is called Time Machines.
Anyway, wow. This was stunning and shocking and all sorts of things, but I won't use the word yet because it's
no,
not my
no.
word to use. But I've wasted enough time. Did anybody else want to talk?
I just wanted
Say
to
how
see
your week's been.
I wanted to see where this led us.
Mm.
Can't
Do
talk.
It led us to
There.
some weird patriotism. Strange. Although something that does make me quite patriotic is the Australian children's television program Bluey.
Oh, there we go.
Shall we talk about an episode of them? Often our friend Martin here will dive into some bare bones of an episode.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Are
I
we
will.
ready for that?
No, we're not.
Okay.
Because I wanted to
Ooh.
tell you about the fact that I had a children's birthday
You
party on the
did.
weekend.
You did.
Yes,
Because
yes.
it was Bluey themed.
It was.
Yep.
There
So
were
it's appropriate. I can bring
balloons.
it up.
It took me
Yeah.
a while before I realized that the balloons were Bluey themed
Yep.
because
they had
most of
Bluey
them
characters
were
on it.
popping before I got there.
Oh, there was a lot of keepy uppy going on.
Yes.
But yes, Naomi actually asked for a Bluey birthday party. I was like, that okay.
Oh,
Now,
All
Martin,
right. I've,
Did she?
I remember that happening. So whether it was in a dream or in reality.
Not that I doubt that she
doesn't-
would, because I know she loves Bluey, but
She does like Bluey.
her dad is on the Hammerbomb Project.
She did. She said like she was going out with her mum to pick up the stuff to make the cake, and she's like, "Actually, could I have a Daniel Tiger cake?"
No,
Like,
no.
There you go, hey.
Too far down this
Yeah,
path
but
now.
you haven't actually made the cake, Mum. So
Yeah.
we can still change the. Mum's planned the whole thing. She knows exactly what's going on. But anyway,
Daniel Tiger's a funny one because when I first saw it, I thought, "What is this?"
I
mean,
know,
there's something
right?
about the accents. Oh, sorry, that sounds really bad, but there's something about like that
it's
that
a
sort of
very
like
sort of-
really saccharine
Yes.
sort of. But holy cow,
it works.
yeah.
All those little phrases.
All those little phrases and the way it's truly genius. And when the whole Mr. Rogers thing comes in, because
Yeah.
you know, like everyone in America raves about growing up with Fred Rogers.
Yep.
And I mean, I'd never seen any until recently. The in recent years, the Tom Hanks movie came out.
Yes. Yeah.
Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Beautiful, wonderful, beautiful, beautiful day in the neighborhood. A movie with Tom Hanks playing Fred Rogers.
Yeah.
And then I looked into a little bit and I realized
Yeah.
how how amazing this guy was. I saw him talk to Congress about children's entertainment in the old YouTube video of it. And he was a beautiful, passionate man.
Yeah.
And for that to live on in the way that the genius way they layer lessons in Daniel Tiger,
Yeah.
like just if you have to go potty, stop and go right away. And all the little songs. And then they play, so they do a full song about it and they play the little snippets over and over. And the usefulness of it. I saw Erin and Josh teaching Nora, but like toilet training Nora, and the whole, do you have to go potty? Maybe yes, maybe no. Why don't you sit and try to go? And it's like the amount of times I like said that to Nora and she was like dancing in front of the TV, like doing a toilet dance. I'm like, do you want to go? And she goes, no, I don't need to go. And I said, remember what Daniel Tiger says? And I sang it. And she's like, oh yeah. And she went to the I'm like, well, that just paid for itself right then and there.
It really did. It's not as watchable as Bluey, of course.
True.
But
what
yeah,
is?
it
Not
really,
much is.
yeah, not much is. But it does work. I went through the same arc myself. And it's just, the way it deals with things like, sometimes you get disappointed. How do you deal with disappointment? Let's find out. Let's find something else about this situation that can be fun. Like all of those are just like, even for adults, that's a good message.
Oh boy.
But,
oh boy.
Yeah. So
And their parents are quite patient.
Yeah, incredibly so. No, we weren't too bad at the party. Actually, there were no toddler meltdowns at the party.
Yeah,
I don't think.
that's true.
It was so like that's what I was terrified of. I'm like,
Oh.
I had spares of everything.
Yeah.
Like, if any kid doesn't want the green something or other, that's okay. There's
I've got a
another
blue
option.
one.
It was nearly a
Yeah.
Brendan meltdown, but
Yeah.
I behaved myself.
You did.
I
You
thought-
kind of left before you. Like,
yeah.
If you
I
need
did have
have
to
a
go. I
meltdown,
felt bad
go
about it.
right away.
Felt bad about that. No, when I found out the fairy bread had real butter in it, I nearly. that sounds really bad. Of course, yeah.
But I think
vegan these days, so I don't eat the butter. But Ali was trying to make the best fairy bread she could, and I'm not an idiot. If you want to make the best one, use real butter. Don't cater to Brendan. Make the best fairy bread for everybody else. It was a joke, and I feel bad for making it. Marty,
we had Pass the Parcel, not Lucky's Dad's Rules.
not like
But
his dad's.
I
not
love
like
that.
his
Like Ali announced that at the start of the game. She just goes, "For everyone playing, it's not like his dad's rules." And everyone around, they just went, "Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
There wasn't. There was no one that just went, "What?" Actually, no, there was one. Your mum,
Yeah, of course.
but different generation.
Yeah.
Everyone, the right side of 40 was just like, "Oh yeah,
yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
She'd done a lot of the mumming she's going to do by the time Blue came around.
yeah."
And but I think the funnest game was attempting to play. I was like, oh, we could do Simon Says, but we've got a Chattermax doll, so we'll make it Chattermax Says, and then
That's
I can do a
awesome.
funny voice.
How
Yeah.
did that go, Marty?
Yeah, not so great. I wish the kids always obeyed me as much as they did during this segment, regardless of whether I
right.
said Chattermax Says or not.
Ah.
I evolved through it. I was just kind of like, okay, I'm just going to say, like, Chattermax Says, touch your head, touch your knees. Did not get that. Every single child is touching knees. I'm like, okay, all right. And it got to the point where it's like, Chattermax Says, touch your head, touch your knees.
All right.
Still no. They
they
were
were
like,
just
yeah,
listening.
woo, knees are great. Except for Jack, who's just like, I'm just going to touch whatever part of my body because this is hilarious.
I think my favorite was you said, Chattermax says, touch your head. And he puts his hands on his belly and goes, this is my head.
Classic.
And then just threw everybody off.
Yeah, that's
Brilliant.
right.
Love it. Did you realize, look, they're just they're not getting the game. They're doing everything I say. Did you then parlay that into Chattermax Says, brush your teeth, take out the
really-
recycling.
Yeah, that's right.
Tidy up after yourselves.
Sleep through the night.
So funny
Oh,
you
man.
should say that because we are recording at a time, and if Frank has to get up and disappear at any point, he's like,
It might be because my child is wailing so loudly that I hear him through 2 rooms and a set of headphones.
yeah. Oh well,
But anyway, party's done now.
party's done.
I'm done talking about that.
Oh, okay.
We have talked about it for 9.5 minutes.
Excellent.
Mm.
Good. That is exactly how long I wanted to talk about it.
Ah, well, there you
Bare
go.
bones.
Bare bones.
So, this episode is a blatant rehashing of the 1987 Arnold Schwarzenegger film,
yes, it's back.
Come on. Do it.
Running Man.
Oh, can't say I've seen it, but I
In a
I'm
future
keen.
world, Arnie must escape in a game of life and death for the entertainment of others.
Oh boy. Hang on, is this like I always do this. I go, is this legit? And then Marty pays me out because obviously it's not. But it might be. He's shaking his head.
Head shaking, no.
No, okay.
Frankie, what's this episode really about?
This episode is about tricking Brendan, apparently.
Yep.
This episode of Bluey is called Surprise.
Surprise!
Surprise!
It's
No,
not we'd
that
surprise
links back
you.
to that's the links back to the thing that Brendan was saying at the
Yeah,
start.
I was saying all these
Yeah.
other words that
Yeah.
weren't surprise, and then we thought we'd surprise you.
We did that thing
By
you're never
saying-
supposed to do in assignments, where you just take the title and then just look it up all the different,
Oh yeah, there was
a
a big googling of surprise synonyms there, but it actually kind of is surprising that we are doing a normal episode because we've had
It's true,
canine
right?
users coming out the wazoo lately
I
because there's been
know.
lots going on and we haven't been able to get together
Yeah.
to record an episode because we've been in Sydney, we've been interviewing Joe Brum. Look, really nice reasons for not being able to get to it, but it is good to be
Yeah.
in this room talking
Back in
about
the
an
saddle.
episode. And so I will throw back to you, Martin, because I always
Thank you.
do this and forget
Yeah.
to let you say what the episode is really
Yeah,
about.
that's right. This is Marty time.
Marty time,
This
sorry.
is about
MT.
the
MT.
yeah.
He's empty inside. If he doesn't have his MT.
Okay, all right. So this is an episode in which Bandit has to play two separate games at the same time, and we all learn a lesson about supporting one another and being like how kids can be awesome and also terrifying.
Yeah.
If you
Well
like.
said.
Yeah.
Well
Oh,
said.
but-
Does anybody... Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say it's really nice to be doing an episode that's just like brand new, and we
It's-
can talk about it
yeah.
because everybody can see it.
And
That's
yeah,
right.
let's spend a moment talking about, were you surprised? I was surprised.
Oh, I was so surprised.
Yeah.
I sent you guys a message. I was just because what was that? I think I was trying to find a screenshot for one of our Instagram posts, and I'm going in and I'm like, oh, I don't remember that screen capture. Oh, maybe it's from, some whatever it is. And they're like, oh, there's a thing called surprise in there. Maybe it's like a short because
Yeah, I'm like, I don't
put
remember that
those
one.
up
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
Like, and then I clicked into it. I'm like, no, it goes for 7 minutes. And then I'm immediately all capsing you guys.
Yeah.
going, oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
And then Frank's sending a message back going, yeah, dude, like, because I'm like, I can't watch it because I'm in the car and like,
I was like,
and
that,
then-
that was so 7 minutes ago.
yeah,
Like-
I know. Frank's just like so relaxed about it. Yeah, I saw it ages ago, man. You're probably still in the car.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Single tear face.
Single tear face. A little bit of something that's quite surprising.
Ooh.
I did some research and did some preparation for this
Whoa.
episode. I just...
I don't believe you.
I know, it's hard to believe. But I thought, look, if I was ever going to surprise someone, I'll surprise them on the episode about the episode called Surprise.
Mm.
And I'll do a little bit of research
Because there's
on-
no episode called Ironic.
Not yet. That would be ironic if the next episode was called Ironic. No,
Joe,
it wouldn't
make
be.
it happen.
It wouldn't be. It wouldn't be ironic. It would be like that Alanis Morissette song
The-
called Ironic,
Where
that she
nothing
lists
is
a whole
listed.
bunch of things that aren't actually ironic.
No,
The most ironic thing about that song is calling a song ironic
when there's
not
nothing
many
actually.
ironic things in
I'll
the
just
lyrics.
get
of
this ready.
Yep. Okay. Yep. Being distracted, but the actual, because you'll notice in the credits of this episode, it says from an idea by now I had it here. Oh, hip from no, I searched his name earlier.
So he's done the research.
Yeah, I
but,
did do the
technology
research.
is letting you down.
I've got it.
There it is.
And I'll edit that out. I've got a history
Nah.
of saying I'll edit that out and then not editing it
Yeah,
out.
no, that's
No.
staying in.
Yeah.
Stuart Heritage from an idea is written by
Yes.
Joe Brum from from an idea by Stuart Heritage, and Stuart Heritage is a journalist from the UK. And I actually looked up the article that he wrote about when he came up with this idea. Well, how it sort of came about.
Okay,
Yeah, and I'll can I read some excerpts
Please.
from the article?
only excerpts.
Only excerpts. Well, how about I'll read the whole short article and then I'll excerptify it in the edit because I didn't. I did do the
You didn't
research, but I
actually-
just copied the whole article.
Right.
But I'd like to read it to you guys anyway.
Please.
Here we go. This is Stuart Heritage.
Don't excerpt yourself.
I love it. For most people, the latest episode of Bluey, entitled Surprise, came as exactly that. Deliberately unannounced, it dropped like a Beyonce album, ambushing viewers who are still coming to terms with the recent gut-wrenching 28-minute masterpiece, The Sign. We all know someone who was in that. However...
that's a new one.
However, that's the first spell of many. However, I have spent the last 3 years waiting for Surprise. This is because my name appears in the credits. Created and written by Joe Brum from an idea by Stuart Heritage. It says, I am as weirded out about this as anyone else, but let me explain how I came to play the smallest possible role in my favorite television program. Like a lot of parents, I discovered Bluey on Disney Plus during lockdown, and this is what keyed me into... Sorry, this is Brendan talking now. This is what keyed me into thinking he might not be Australian, and I looked it up, and he was from, Britain.
Mm.
Because, we don't... Well, I mean, is it even on Disney Plus here? I don't think it is, because it's on ABC iView, so why would it need to be? Anyway, sidebar, back to Stuart's words. In a moment where I realized where I was. Okay, although its premise was unassuming to the point of blandness, a cartoon about a family of dogs, I put it on for my kids and quickly became smitten. Each episode was a perfectly realized short film. Some played out in real time. Others ended with breathtaking time jumps. Ooh, foreshadowing. Into the future. One managed to depict the entire arc of human evolution. From the swamps to a distant intergalactic future in the space of 7 minutes. It was incredible. I needed to know who wrote it, so I put in a request to interview Joe Brum, Bluey's creator. Yeah, and we all know some people who have interviewed Joe Brum as well. In June 2021, the interview finally happened. Brum is extremely likable in person and given to airing his uncertainties freely. When we spoke, he was writing season 3 and told me that generating ideas was becoming more and more difficult. His children had been the same age as Bluey and her sister Bingo when the show began, so he could draw on their experiences for inspiration much more easily. But now they were growing up. A 4 and a 6-year-old are so different to an 8-year-old, he told me. It's harder for me to see through their eyes, but my kids were almost the same age as Bluey and Bingo. The next month, I took them camping by myself. I have written about the camping trip before, how it was intended as a sticking plaster to get us through an especially rough time, but I didn't mention that I spent a big portion of it cracking up in a playground. In the playground, each of my kids wanted to play a different game. They got into an argument over which to play first, Floor is Lava, or some sort of complicated robot defense game that required the use of a climbing frame as a fort. Exhausted, I stupidly told them that they could both play whatever they wanted with me at the same time. Parents will understand that following the logic of any child's game can be difficult, but following the games of 2 kids simultaneously while overwhelmingly sleep deprived is impossible. I spent what felt like an eternity trying to protect a climbing frame from an invisible robot attack, only for the other kid to scream, "No, Daddy, you're standing in lava." So I would hop up on a seesaw, and the other would yell, "No, Daddy, you're letting the robots in." This went on and on, back and forth, disappointing everyone, until I lost it, shut myself in a toilet cubicle, and sent Brum a 60-word email explaining my situation. He replied quickly, saying that he liked the idea and wanted to pursue it as an episode. You have everything, or in quotes, you have everything you need to survive in that toilet, he added kindly. That was almost 3 years ago. Since then, information has come in fits and starts. I heard that the idea was going to be incorporated into a larger story, but nothing more. Nor was I allowed to see any preview footage. This was down to the episode's placement in the series. Brum had always envisioned the sign as the finale, but in Surprise, Bandit makes a joke about selling the house. Since that would have spoiled the sign, the decision was made to tack it on to the end of the season. And since the sign was the biggest moment in the history of Bluey, I had to wait for the episode like the rest of the world. Now, the wait is over. Surprise is an episode of Bluey about a dad desperately attempting to keep up with the logic of kids' games at once. This episode's official description is Bluey and Bingo want Dad to play 2 different games, so Dad tries to play both at the same time. My experience has now become the experience of Bandit Healer, the world's greatest dad. My participation in the world of Bluey started and ended with that one brief email. My children have now grown older than Bluey and Bingo. their interests have shifted, their energy has changed. The best thing about any of this is that Brum has created a time machine for me, taking a snapshot of a very specific moment in the life of my family that would otherwise have been lost and crystallizing it forever. What an honor. I just think that's a beautiful article.
Yeah.
And it also speaks to like it's a time machine for all of us, really. Like for you guys, episodes that you saw at a certain point of the development of your kids, and for me, it's like involvement in Bluey and just like having that sort of stone that we can carry that with us for the rest of our lives. It will always be a bright, shining thing that happened on the journey, and just his gratefulness feels the same. So I just wanted to read a little bit of that out. I don't know how much of that will make the edit, but because I just sat and read to you, the listener, and to you, gentlemen, in the room. But no, I thought it was poignant to talk a little bit about the origin of the idea from Stuart Heritage. And you sound like a legend, Stu, if you ever hear this. And thank you for contributing to the show.
I love the two games that are played in this episode, because it's the two disparate ends of frustrating things that you have to do with your kids. It's either playing an intensively active thing where none of it is about you and your experience.
You're just getting pummeled.
You're just getting pummeled, or like you're having to lift something, or like you are just entertainment, like run around in a circle while I watch you, basically, is the end point of this. Like that's the one end, incredibly active. And the other end is just incredibly tedious because it's a microcosm of what you already do with your life, which is following the tedious instructions of small humans. And then that they get to do that with small humans.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I just love every time he tries to make it easier for himself. So like trying to get them to play together, but also it's just like, could this be in the TV room? No. It's outside.
Yeah.
Could this be something or other? No.
Yes.
And that is 100% what it's like. They've already got an idea. There's no way you can change that.
Yeah.
And so it's just it feels so real.
Even when you think you're being clever. Even when you think, oh, and this, no, my name's this.
Yeah.
You think you
my
be
name's Uriah.
He just goes and sits by the tree. Goes, I'll just be right here. You have to talk to me.
I don't hear singing.
Yeah. There's no better feeling than when you kind of steer something in the way that you want to, and the kid accepts it and go, oh, yeah of course.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
That feels amazing. Poor Bandit. I'm sure he has some of those. He didn't have any of those today. They were all like, some days you just at the mercy of the already established mind game that the kid has.
This is it. It's like 100%. Like one of the things that's always amazed me about Naomi and just like kids in general is their capacity to have these incredible plans in their head, and their intense frustration with you not immediately understanding what should be happening. Like there is such a specific sequence that they have in their head. Like, no, it has to go on top of the thing, and then that needs to go through there.
Yeah.
Like, and then you have to dance around it. No, not like that. And you try and imitate what they're doing.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, there's some critical part of it that you're missing.
Yeah.
So I just that just catches me as well.
Yeah, and it makes me think, oh man, I must have been like that at one point. Am I still like that? I just go, wow. Do I? Is that wow?
Does Brendan like to do things in a particular way?
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah. Playing with kids really makes me think about myself as well. I'm like, wow, they've like, and I sometimes, I'll confess, sometimes I have unrealistic expectations of the kids. Like if they're doing something like irrational to their sibling, I'm like, why are you doing that? And I just think, hang on, this is learned behavior that I'm an adult and I've learned how to deal with this. Like, stop projecting that, and so I'm not very I'm glad I'm not a parent yet. Just for the sake of the children.
I'm going to take us back to the start.
All right.
You can ding
there
me
it
if
is.
you like for that one.
Yeah, Marty.
But I love the what feels like an incredibly parenty phrase, which is like, "What do you need, Bingo?"
Yeah.
I didn't
She's
frame
jumping
it right.
at the fridge.
She's jumping
yeah.
at the fridge, like, "Oh, what do you need?"
Yeah.
Like, that's something that you always find it.
Like, how can I stop this in a kind way?
It's like, what do you need, or how can I help?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you're clearly trying to do something. It's
Yeah.
not entirely clear what the objective of this exercise
Yeah.
is. So let me
It's
get
nicer
in there.
than don't do that. It's like, yeah.
I'm going to stop you before you hurt yourself
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
or
yep.
damage something. Like,
Yep. That's but I think Chili deals with it a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's,
yeah.
she's just helping Bingo out, but getting the stubby coolers, because that's apparently what you need.
And
to
the
make
stubby
children.
coolers being on top of the fridge,
100%.
ringing huge bells for me. That's where I put my stubby holders. Yeah.
Because then you reach up, you get these, and then you reach down into the fridge to get the cold
Get
ones.
the-
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's-
Yep.
And there is, I'm fairly sure it's like that particular type of stubby
Oh,
holder.
boy.
Yeah.
Because it's the
And the
foam
fact that
one,
it comes,
isn't it?
It's the foam one
The
that
foam one is-
nobody wants,
Yep.
and it's a little bit too big.
Just too
It's
big.
a bit too big.
And your drink kind of
It
rattles
rattles
around in it.
Yeah.
And it's the one that everybody avoids.
And you do that thing where if you hold it from the neck of the bottle, just it drops off. And you're
it
like,
just falls off.
And there's that, so
As
it's not
opposed to the
the
neoprene
neoprene.
ones.
Yeah, it does on the side. I reckon you taught me the word neoprene.
Did I?
You taught me the word neoprene, and don't tell me the other one, the wetsuit one. There's neoprene, and then there's Santaprene.
Oh, okay. No, that wasn't me.
That wasn't you?
No.
Oh, right. There's another.
You know
there's
another nerd.
Oh boy, I thought you were the
Materials
fountain
like,
of all my nerdy
No, no.
knowledge.
wow.
like,
There's
Yeah.
two of them.
No. But anyway, it's not the neoprene which you want. You always go for the neoprene, like the the Australian flag one.
yeah, it's
And
like
then-
the
Then this one is just polystyrene foam with a
Polystyrene.
plastic outer.
yeah.
Too big. It
Yeah.
rattles around. Hard to hold. Not a tight fit.
Yep.
It's really not a good time. And you always try and palm it off onto anyone else. And I love, without going too far ahead,
Yeah.
that element of it came back into the story. That
Yes.
it's a little
Yeah.
bit too big and
Bit
not
too
quite
big.
like the others. And
Bonk.
yeah, oh boy, so good.
And then we've got the discussion with Chili as well of like, what's it like to have children?
Oh,
And then
yeah.
that's
It's one of those. You've asked me a really
That's
tricky
a-
question.
That's
Like,
a stumper.
and,
Yeah.
and further highlighted by the fact that Bandit walks in mid conversation, goes, "I don't want a piece of this," and starts backing out
Yeah.
slowly, just like, I'm just gonna like run away.
He's
Oh, hi,
surrounded.
Bingo.
Yeah, he tunes in like impressively quickly, but a little bit too late.
Yeah.
The
A
conversation
little
is
bit
about, and then he's roped into it. And he's all he wants to do, all Bandit wants to do this whole episode is watch the marathon on TV. There's suspicion that it looks like he's watching the London Marathon, because the London Marathon apparently has a really good participation program for people with disabilities.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Right.
they really, I looked on the website, they really, another surprising like preparation moment of me. They really
Pre-parhead.
prepared I am. And it was like the other cool thing, other than having a huge program for people using wheelchairs in the marathon, I think this episode was dropped on the same day as the London Marathon. It was never directly related, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. And this is the other bit of prep that I had that I thought was really cool.
He's got three.
I know. There's more to come.
Far
How
out.
surprising. Kurt Fernley, who was an Australian wheelchair racer.
Yeah.
He is the voice of the commentator
Yep.
on
And if you look
the race.
closely when it has the Aussie competitor on the screen,
Yeah.
it's in that dog writing where
Yeah.
but you can make
You
out
can
the
make
first
out
name
Kurt
that says
Fernley,
Kurt.
Kurt.
Yeah.
there
So
you
good.
go. Yeah, he's now. I think I was reading up about. Kurt
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
He's now the head of. I
Not
think
as
chairman?
surprising that you were doing some preparation.
No, yeah. Chairman of NDIS. I
Yes,
think?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
And he's
so
done
good.
some amazing stuff. But
Yeah.
yes, he's also he was a gold medalist.
Is he older than you,
Mhm.
Frank? When's his birthday? 23rd of March, 81.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a little bit older than
Little bit,
you.
Not by much.
What have you done?
I wondered where that was going, and
I'm
that's not what I expected.
sorry, I'm making a habit in this episode of just getting halfway through a really mean joke and then losing steam and then feeling really bad.
But you're right though. Frank doesn't have any gold medals.
Yeah, he doesn't have
It's
any gold
true, it's true.
medals. And do you know what else Kurt Fernley's done? He's crawled the Kokoda track
Trail. Yeah.
without a wheelchair.
Oh my god.
Holy
Yeah.
moly! And do you know, like, I mean, I know the Kokoda Trail is really relevant to the Australian story from World War II, but for our international listeners, it's in Papua New Guinea, and it's I was reading up about this, but I had some details on how serious that is, crawling the Kokoda Trail. Is it cool if I just quickly ring Sinead?
I think that's
Because
a
my
good idea.
nibbling Sinead, she knows everything.
Okay.
So I'll just quickly ring her.
Do it.
Sinead speaking.
Sinead, how are you?
Oh, hey, Uncle Benny. Yeah, you know, living the dream. What can I do for you?
Oh, I was just ringing because I'm with the boys in the Hammer Bump Project.
Hey,
We're recording at the
Sinead.
moment.
Oh, good day, fellas.
Kokoda Trail.
Yes. The historically invaluable single-file foot track through the Owen Stanley Range in Papua New Guinea.
Yes.
Site of the World War II campaign, fought between July and November 1942, and famously completed by Paralympic gold medalist Kurt Fearnley in 2009.
Yes, that's why we were talking.
What a guy, right?
Oh yeah, exactly how long is it?
Approximately 96 kilometers.
He crawled that.
Yes, he raised a lot of money for mental health organisations, and his inspiration came from the story of Corporal John Metzen, the World War II soldier who, after being wounded in both legs, chose to crawl through the jungle for 2 weeks rather than receive medical assistance so it could be spent on those worse off than him.
That's why.
Oh.
What an incredible story.
You said it. What an absolute boss.
Sinead, I knew I'd rang the right person. Thank you very much.
You got it, fellas. Catch you around.
Cheers, bye.
Bye.
See what I mean?
Wow.
Far
What
out.
this Kurt Fearnley, serious
What a
dude.
dude.
Serious dude.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure
Done
you...
a voice on Bluey. What else have you
Up
done?
there
for
with-
him?
I was trying to find a way to get there.
I'm going to use this as an excuse for my sidebar as well.
Yes,
Oh.
please do.
Like, okay.
I've been throwing sidebars left and right.
and
Sidebar.
So okay, it came out. Well, it was probably a couple of weeks ago now or something. How many views is it? 10.4 million views of
Ooh.
the sign.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep, something like that.
I think you
Yep.
saw that. Well,
Yep.
I think you tweeted that, Frank, or something like that. So I've done some quick maths.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Um, So
Maths.
at 10.4 million, assuming that Brendan's lines add up to approximately 5 seconds, this means that
Wow.
if you were just listening to Brendan saying his lines, it would be 1.64 years. And that's it doesn't feel like heaps. And then think about it. That's day and night.
That feels pretty
Brendan in your ear saying, "Oh, it doesn't have Paul. Oh, that was lucky." And just doing that for day and night, 1.64 years, 600 days, 14,000 hours, 866,000 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And if you were doing that from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.,
Yeah.
it's 2.64 years.
I mean,
So if you woke up first thing in the morning and you just hear Brendan all day, it wouldn't be until like 2027 before he would stop. So 2.64 years is about half the time it took to record those lines.
yes.
And no, sorry, it's about twice as long as it took to record them. It's half as long as I've had to listen to Brendan
There it is.
explaining how he likes to set things up.
I was gonna
You
say,
know, like we were just coming in and you're like, why does your computer have duct tape on it? Oh yeah, I stuck my thing on there because I got tired of putting the USB thing
this
down the
is
bottom.
5 minutes
It
ago.
was
Yeah.
like a few minutes ago. And I'm
mean,
like, yep, that's the point.
You walked
4.
out of the room while I was saying it because I was taking too long.
to the point on waking up to the noise of Brendan,
going,
can confirm when we lived together for a time.
We did.
And right outside my very thin window, I woke up to the sound of you trying your hardest to sing the Beatles. Oh, darling.
That bit.
Like,
When you told me.
and like, yeah, really loudly on a Saturday morning. And after the third rendition with the voice, starting to break and his throat starting to bleed, I pulled the window open and went, Brendan, what are you doing? And the look came back as if to say, what? What have I done here? I don't understand the problem.
Okay, there's a surprising thing. Speaking about surprises, there's a surprising thing and an unsurprising thing. The surprising thing is that you figured that out and not me. I honestly didn't do the maths there, which is like 100% up the alley of something I would do. And the not surprising thing is that, that's a long time and I take a long time to do anything.
So the world has been subjected.
Yes. Yeah,
to,
it is
1.64 years of Brendan.
How does it feel, world?
Well, yeah.
And it's,
Come walk a mile in our shoes.
And it's a couple of lines that should have taken, as you said, 5 seconds. So it's very much on brand that something that should take 5 seconds has taken several years. And funny story about that. I was hanging out with the Donnellys. We just rang Sinead. She's a Donnelly. My sister Claire married Mark Donnelly. Mark Donnelly. Shout out to Mark. He's a gentleman, and he is a bit of a smiling assassin when it comes to jokes. He's a real silent assassin.
He's an Irishman, yes?
He's an Irishman, so he'll just be like just taking it in, just really quiet,
observing,
unassuming. You think, how's Mark? Is he? And then all of a sudden, he'll just
put it on the table,
touch into the conversation
Yeah.
with just the best one. And we were talking about Bluey the other day. It was Anzac Day, and we were all so family was together, and we were all chatting about the sign and surprise and theories about not getting too far ahead, theories about the final scene of this episode.
Yep.
And we were talking about the sign and everything, and Mark just taking it all in. Kids are talking, I'm talking, obviously. And then Mark just said, "So," and I'll do his accent. Forgive me, Mark. And he goes, "So, usually, the episodes are 7 minutes." And this is not Mark's accent, by the way. This is some amalgam of all different kinds of counties. And he said, "So usually the episodes are 7 minutes, and the one Brandon's in goes for 28 minutes." And I was in the kitchen making a cup of tea at the time, and I fell over. I just about went out and shook his hand. That is the most poignant review of the sign. Poignant, concise, just like the man himself. Shout out to Mark Donnelly. And I'm sorry that I usually do an Omaha accent better than that, I think. He probably doesn't.
On that note, aisle 300, because we can't top that.
I've been waiting to tell that story.
That's a great one. The other moment in this one that really gives me that parent, early child is when it's like, look at all these bottles that I have to wash.
Yes.
Oh, man. There's a whole segment of your life where Frank's just looking confused at me.
Where were they washing bottles?
Yeah, it's Bingo's washing the bottles for the babies.
Oh,
he turns around.
Yes.
Oh,
sorry, I thought we were still in that opening scene. I was like, why is Chili washing
on?
Okay.
Keep up, Frank.
God, do things sequentially, goddammit. Like we never do.
And Bluey, I love that either one of them, I feel like from a personality thing, either Bluey or Bingo could have been playing Bluey's game, Bingo's game rather, because it's like the imagination of this is this, no, my name's this. But Bluey's game does feel a little bit more Bluey than Bingo.
Yes.
Bingo's a gentle soul, whereas Bluey's got that streak in her
the crazy
I
streak.
would not.
We've seen this in a number of times where the girls are playing two polar opposite characters, where Bingo's the nice chill one and Bluey's the like, she's the crazy one. Even as early as what is it? Like second or third episode, Doctors, where Bingo's trying to, because she's got the nice bed manner, and Bluey's just like, I'm going to jab him with a needle.
Once again, just that like a lesser show. Well, I've said this before. A lesser show wouldn't need that. The kids, they've got the same personality, but they're so clearly sisters but separate.
Yes,
so clearly fleshed out characters. And who forgive me, who lent Bluey the toy gun? That system.
Chucky.
Chucky. Yes.
So next door neighbor.
The design of the
Let's talk about the real hero of this
Okay.
episode.
Yeah.
That
Thank you.
gun.
Oh boy.
Everything about it is
So
hilarious.
good.
Like the
I love the visor. I love the
visor,
half
yeah,
visor,
the half
a
visor.
tinted green,
Yeah,
acrylic.
Yeah.
Okay. We grew up at a time when it was just coming into technological ability that you would have the laser tag,
Yep.
like the home
Yeah.
laser tag
available
set.
laser
Yeah,
tag
yep,
sets.
Yep.
And one of the coolest ones I saw was it was a headset. So the receiver and the target point was on a headset, and you ran around with your gun that linked to the headset. And there was like a heads-up display where it had half a visor, and the number of hits you had left was displayed in the front of the headband in mirror-wise.
Yeah, right.
So that the visor that went over one of your eyes reflected it back at you. And so it was like a
a heads-up
translucent
display.
HUD
Yeah,
How good.
of how many, and it was just the coolest thing. and it just reminded me of that. And I'll get back to that when we talk about the final shot.
Yeah.
But oh God, I want that toy.
if Moose
those
Toys, who owns the rights for the Bluey toys, if they're not looking at making that at the very least,
Sounds, Marty.
The sounds are so good.
Yeah,
Like,
and just the
kachunky type noises, because it's like the mechanical, and also on top of that, the laser noises.
the
that
charge
laser
up noise.
noises.
It's
Yeah.
charge up noise has
Oh,
got that real
yeah.
Ghostbusters vibe to
Yeah.
it. We
And
just
you
like
can
charging
hear-
the proton
You can
packs.
hear the motor winding up and down, like
Yeah.
after she's finished.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a sound design masterpiece.
Yeah, it really is. And it just makes the joke, I think it just makes all the jokes around the gun so much more funny.
Yes.
Because it's just so intense.
And that
Yeah.
visual guy,
Just
all the visual gags of Bandit running away from it, getting
yeah.
shot in the butt, and then running like across, laterally
Yeah,
across
my
screen,
favorite.
and then
the arc.
Yeah, it just
right,
really
you know.
it reminded me. I don't know. I'm sure I'm not worldly enough to know what this is a direct reference to, but I'm sure there's an awesome moment in cinema that they're directly referencing here when he's running across and it goes, but it reminds me of the Simpsons scene where Bart is running away from Homer because he stole his jar of change. His jar of change, and he's running away from it. It's all like Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
he's running, and then Maggie's got the suction dart
Yeah.
gun. It goes,
Yeah.
and so it's more like that than it is like what the Simpsons are parodying. But then but it just reminded me of that, and it's just so fast paced, so good.
Yeah.
And the defeated Bandit on the floor
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
kitchen getting shot in the butt.
While singing
Twinkle,
Twinkle, Little
Star.
I
And
love
it's just
that
like
shot,
this
the aerial
overhead
shot.
shot.
Yep.
And then after that, when Chili drops her awesome line, a really poignant moment in the episode where she just says, "Oh, Bluey, that's what having kids is like." And then there's almost like a new angle on the kitchen there because it's slightly elevating. You see the whole bench of the
Yeah.
kitchen. I don't know. I love it anytime there's a new angle that I get to see.
You
the
already said
soundtrack.
that because that's in, what was it, Tina as well,
Yes.
or something like
Yep.
that. You
Yeah,
get
yeah.
distracted.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I love the top-down view. I love the idea of kicking over the malt bucket because that's a
Yes.
classic sort of thing. And then
Yeah.
just in the fetal position, like singing to
Still
this baby.
ultimately playing both games as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
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 Love running back to the mat. This place safe. This place is safe.
Oh, and the concept of safe zones in a
Yeah.
game.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the fact that
Bluey-
Bandit brings that up.
Yep. And he,
Yeah.
because I don't think, we didn't see there's any establishing shots
No,
around this
no.
is safe. He goes on the rug,
Creates that,
calls it safe, and Bluey just adheres to it and goes, well,
Okay,
yeah,
all right,
that's
That's
fair.
an
Hide
example
again.
of that. No, I didn't think there was any examples of that in this episode, but there is. That's an example of a bandit
Ah.
playing a card going, "Oh no, but this," and it actually
kid-
working.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
when that happens, oh boy, you just
pretty
you just
rare.
feel like, yes, I still got it.
Because they exclude, like the absolute opposite when it's like, could you play the same game as us? No.
I'm so happy about
that
it.
happens so often.
Yeah.
You're just like, could you just, could we just do it this
Do
way?
this? No.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
And-
but in the end, what a good kid Bluey is, because he returns to that a couple of times, Bandit. He says, oh, it would be so much easier if you could just play the game your sister's
Yeah.
playing. It would be so much easier if you could. And then when she sees, when he's not even playing to her at that
No,
point, he doesn't
right.
know she's hiding behind the tree. But the moment that she hears that, like, and has it reasonably put on her that oh man, that would be easy. Maybe I could give a little here.
Yeah.
And she
'Cause
goes,
we're
"Oh,
a
no,
family."
because
Yeah.
we're a family." And
Yep.
that juxtaposition of them playing the game, that, and even the TV going the whole time,
Yep.
and the Australian guy to quote Bandit, is it the Australian guy or the Aussie bloke?
fella.
The Aussie fella's doing quite well of him falling over, then
Yeah.
getting back up. This won't keep him down.
He's
and
got
then-
it all on the line.
Yeah.
I love those little lines.
And Bandit's like, that didn't keep him down.
Yeah.
And so that juxtaposition there, man, it's just, what? I mean, what do you say? What do you
Talking about Bingo's arc as well with the kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that's Naomi to a T, coming up with children's, having so many
Yeah.
children's, and like, there's this one and this one and this one. You just end
Yeah.
up with 5 kids who you have to provide for, and them all having ridiculous made up names. The names in this are fantastic. Finucane,
Amazing.
and
And there's 2 that sound the same, but they've just got
Is it Copernicus and
Copernicus or something.
Yeah.
Copernicus, yeah.
Just like 2 of them are the same with a different opening sound.
Yeah,
And then the rest are just totally different.
Totally different, yeah. And just the things that she makes him do is like, okay, this one has to go to childcare, and this one you have to teach this one how to ride a bike.
Oh, yep. Yeah, sorry.
And then he's doing the goes, yes, pedal, yeah, I'm still holding on.
I'm still holding on. Oh my
And
gosh.
this is stuff he's doing to pretty much entertain himself.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
it's like, yeah.
There's no one there at that
Oh
point.
man, so good.
Mm.
We've spoken in the bike episode about the cornerstone of growing up, that is learning to ride a bike.
Yep.
And just like hammering those moments, it just all comes back to you. And just that's exactly what. Yeah, no, I'm still holding on. Just you imagine the kid going, "You still holding on?" And which is, of course, what we
got
want
it.
to. Yeah.
Still got it.
This is a man
Don't
who's
bite
been through a
anyone.
lot.
Don't bite.
And there's one more outside. I've forgotten what it is.
Oh, there's a bit. What was it when he goes back to the?
Oh, it's like, there's something wrong with your head and your body. Actually, it's just your head
and your
It's
body.
basically your head and your body.
Basically, your head and your body.
That's such a. I don't know. That moment makes me think, oh, Bluey's really his kid. Like that's
Yeah.
that's 100% something. Blue. It's basically your head and the body. It's just that matter of fact way that Bluey is talking.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, that's
what he does.
The way I read into that is, it's kind of like a connection between them, because that is just exactly
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
Bluey would say something. But I also love when Bandit at one point gets to return to the TV, and he's like, "All right, just checking. No, there aren't any nut bags or something."
Yeah, that's
I
Checking
think
for
I'm
nut bags.
Just checking for
Kicks
nut
it
bags.
over, yeah.
Just I love nut bags. I love nut bag. I love any family friendly, lovable little a dig. Just nut bags, and I use peanut a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Don't do that, you peanut. Just anything that's harmless, but also just a little. Hey, you duffer.
I've been getting into dingus.
Dingus.
Oh, you dingus?
Dingus is great. Dingus is
Wow,
great.
okay. Yeah.
Peanut, dingus, duffer. We use Wally, but one of the boys is named Wally.
Awkward.
So it's like, oh, you been a Wally? No, I'm not.
That's not my name. You're the other one.
You're the other one.
Oh, mercy.
And poor old Jeremy,
Jeremy,
copping
no.
of after Bandits,
Oh, Jeremy.
he'd moved on and what is it? Bluey's like protecting the
Yes.
Yeah.
and then she just starts shooting
Showing
Jeremy in
the-
the face.
yeah.
And I'm like, Jeremy,
Just
no.
showing one of the kids, one of the stubby holder tennis ball kids, this is how you use the gun.
Yeah.
So nice. Oh, man.
Did you take it that the head and the body not fitting, and the fact that he needed to go to the hospital is like a commentary on, maybe this kid's got a disability or something like that? And
Oh,
linking
wow.
into the wider
Yeah, I mean,
narrative?
I didn't in so
And then
many
he's got-
words, but I did think of, a challenge or a complication with
Yeah.
each other. But having that sort of a link is really,
Yeah.
wow.
And I get, because I think one of the really nice things is the way the Bandit responds to it. Is
Yeah.
When Bingo brings it up,
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, he needs to go to hospital. Oh, is he okay?
Yeah, he's
100%,
really
man. I'm
he's
so glad you
lying
said
down.
that.
He's been pummeled by Bluey,
Yeah.
and then he's tired from playing the dual games. And then as soon as he goes, oh wait, is he okay?
Yeah.
You see him sit upright
He's
and
Yeah.
he's focused in.
listening,
Yeah,
he's-
Ah,
And just the
Yeah.
way
what a
he's
role
talking,
model.
like,
what a dad.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it's a nice, once again, wrapping everything together, everything woven.
oh boy.
With all those different, metaphors, thoughts, ideals.
Yes.
And then
And then
Can we get there now?
I think we can get there.
let's. Oh boy. Can we just talk about the transition?
Speaking of transitions, this is worthy of a Back to the Future type,
Oh yeah.
transition, something.
Oh yeah.
I don't have one. Edit it in, damn
Okay,
it.
true. Transition. How about this?
Perfect.
Thank you. Took me a long time. And when I recorded saying, how about this? I had no idea what it was going to be.
But I'm sure it
Peek
was
behind
great.
the curtain. you listeners, you know more about what you just heard than the person saying this knows at the time of recording. But
Wow.
anyway.
What a time travel paradox.
Yeah. Didn't even know I was doing that. But the establishment shot of the house transitioning,
Yeah.
I could spend an entire podcast talking about how good that. In fact, I tried to pause it and take a screenshot, and then pause it and take a screenshot to bring today, so we can look and do a spot the difference of the establishment
But
shot
you
of the
weren't
house.
prepared, clearly,
No,
because you've done no research for this
surprisingly
episode.
enough, surprising. Once again, talking about surprises. There's a surprising thing and an unsurprising thing. Surprising thing was I did try and I was prepared. The unsurprising thing was ABC iView didn't let me do it, and I couldn't figure out a way around it. Because I did the print screen.
Yeah.
Because I was watching on my PC, and I went to put it in Paint. Is that what people use these days?
Oh, wow.
Microsoft
You
Paint.
have a long way to go.
It's quick and it's there, and I can. Anyway, no, I'm a Photoshop guy.
It clearly
but
does
why
such
would
a
I
good
open
job.
The Photoshop, I open Photoshop and it's telling me all the brushes installing and giving me all the names of the people. I just want to put it in Paint. I just want to see it and save it as a JPEG. No, but it just came up black screen.
Yeah.
So that's obviously a privacy thing. I'm sure there's a workaround, but unsurprisingly just gave up
I do
immediately.
it all the time, Brendan.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
Yeah, okay. Well, you'll teach me afterwards, but yeah. I'm sure there's a way. I'm sure. Had you given me 5 more minutes, I trust that I would have figured out, but I gave up. Unsurprisingly. But I love how hopeful the transition is, because there's like wind turbines in the background.
Okay, yeah.
But is there a nuclear a chimney as well?
Ooh,
There's
I
a
didn't see
chimney
that.
out the back. I didn't know what it was. Maybe it was.
Oh,
maybe
okay.
it's a realistic idea.
Desalination plant,
Maybe,
or-
or maybe it was thinking maybe nuclear
That's where they
plays
keep
a part
that's
in
where
our
they keep
future,
them.
responsibly executed.
Well,
I don't know.
You've
I'm
got
not
to
a
keep the
scientist.
mutant somewhere.
Yes,
so,
but
you know.
That's true.
but the wind turbines made me feel good, and the
Drone
drones
package
delivering
deliveries.
things, yeah, and just the development of things, and then when you're in the house,
Oh man, so much.
The fact that the Roomba still doesn't work.
It's just
Dude,
that. I
dude.
knew you would love that
Yeah.
bit, Marty. I'm like, I cannot wait until Marty brings up the fact that the Roomba can't make it back
And even
to its station.
the picture on the wall, like right inside
Yes.
the door, it's in effect an item, like
Rotating.
it's
Yep.
transitioning through
and the
multiple
things that it
pictures.
like the girls graduating
Yes.
and
Ah.
different things, and
Long
dogs
dog.
Yes,
spotting.
the robo long dog.
Robo
Robo-dog.
long dog.
Which is the second long dog for
have
the
never
episode.
spotted a long dog. As long as I've been doing this podcast,
They
I've had
wanted
to
you
tell
to see
you
that one.
I've
Yeah.
had to tell. That's not true. I've seen some long dogs, but you guys are always hotter on it than I am. But I saw that robo long dog.
Nice.
That's for dang sure. And just the fact that there are a few more dings and scrapes around
Yeah.
the house,
Yeah.
the wallpaper's
Yeah.
failing a little bit here
Yeah.
and there, and bandit.
Just,
Old-
hi, Blue. It's nice to see you.
Yeah,
couple.
yeah.
Because his hearing's going, or there's
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
been telling him his hearing's going. He's not listening about
Yeah.
it. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I don't need to see the doctor.
Oh man.
All those Chili with the glasses with the string
Yes.
attachment.
Oh, such an
And they're
anime.
the tortoise shell glasses.
Yep.
With
Yes.
that, like the clear with the orangey browny bits in
Yeah.
there. It's just like so spot on.
I-
And the
I-
way that they just get a little bit more more fluffy because they're
Yes.
older and a little bit more scraggly.
Yeah, yeah. I do love
Adorable.
that all the technological advancements are futuristic but realistic, knowing that like we grew up with like Back to the Future, where they
Yeah.
took such leaps in what they thought 2015
Yeah,
was going to be like that. Some aren't too far off, but some are pretty like we're still
As Seth Century once said,
yes,
where's my
where's
hoverboard?
my hoverboard? Yeah, still haven't got those. But all the things like the Roomba not working, and then the Ring doorbell and or Ring like doorbell, and then the little like Google Home speaker or whatever. All these things that and drones like working and all those things like
They're not that far removed.
They're not that far
from
removed,
where
but
we
they're
are
all
now.
they do feel like what's it what 20 years down the way? How old do you reckon grown up Bluey is?
That's a
Yeah,
good
probably
question.
about 30. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh, speaking about grown up Bluey, I did surprisingly a little bit more research.
Far out.
More
Look at this
research.
guy.
Look at me go. You don't get used to it. But
He's getting all his research done in the one episode, so we can spend the next 70 odd not doing any.
Geraldine Hakewill.
Yes.
Hakewill, rather. Australian actress, singer and songwriter,
Oh.
apparently. And oh boy, I was reading up in your own time, listeners. Google Geraldine Hakewill and have a look at her life and where she started and what her family did. They sound like a super cool family who just achieved a lot, and they just sound very inspirational people. And so I can't think of anybody better to be voicing Grown Up Bluey.
Grown Up Bluey.
Grown Up Bluey. Mm-hmm.
But that isn't even the most exciting character reveal in this episode.
Oh, here it comes.
Can we talk about it?
Shall we?
The little
The
little
well, it's
person.
unnamed because we don't know
Unnamed.
anything.
We don't know. That was a
And-
nice
and-
so
surprise.
excited.
And-
So excited.
So excited.
I mean,
Are we talking about the
maybe
new
we're
gun
wrong.
design?
We're talking about the new gun design, and I was talking about it before. We knew we were going to get back to this. The gun design being worn by a character like that.
Whatever.
I mean,
Whatever.
it's
Who cares?
No one cares
inconsequential.
about that.
But the gun design, the little visor has little proper
and it's not
heads up display, and it's moving, and it's all
Moving
like and the
around.
sounds and everything. Okay, once
Yeah.
again, making a joke that I immediately feel bad about because oh my god, I care so much about this new character.
I've seen so the natural assumption from most of the fan base out there is
I mean,
this,
come
this is
on.
Bluey's kid.
Yep.
Now,
Yep.
the counter argument to that is they go, well, they said, oh, Bingo's already out the back. If Bluey's just
Yeah.
arrived,
Yeah.
that kid
I'll table
could
that.
potentially be
Yeah.
Bingo's. But
Could
most
be next
people
door neighbor's kid.
Could be next door neighbor's kid,
Could be.
but come on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've literally seen people do an entire breakdown on going, all right, we've narrowed it
This
down
colour.
to two. Yeah,
Uh,
like the Pantone colors. They've looked at the color and go, well, this color appears to be the same as Jean-Luc. If you look at the style of the ear folded over, that's
very
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie.
Come on.
Right?
What
There
do you,
is-
I mean,
There is a lot of shipping going on here. of various different-
it's too much
lot.
history. There's too much history between those two. I mean, Jean-Luc.
Or
Maybe
here's a concept. Maybe it's none of those characters. Maybe
Ah.
there are more dog people in the world than just the
Nah.
characters she's previously. No,
No.
What are we
Anyone
doing,
else?
Crazy?
guys?
Are you crazy?
no.
What
yeah.
are we doing if it's not Mackenzie's kid? What are we doing? No, I don't. Yeah. I think it's exactly for this. I think it is. That character is whatever character it needs to be for this to happen,
Yep.
Yeah.
and for us to discuss
It's
this,
just-
and it to be discussed and fanned over all around the world.
That's
These
it.
guys know
Joe's
precisely
just
what
got
they're
that
doing.
knife and it's just now he's just
Twist it again.
spinning it. He's
Oh.
just spinning
If
it.
it weren't
like-
gross, we might need a new sound effect of a knife being
Ooh.
knife being twisted. How would you
Controversial.
do that and then really gross out our listeners and me every time we used
I'm
it?
picturing a watermelon.
Yeah.
Stabby, just-
I'll do
Please.
some audio tests.
That might be a
See how we
Patreon's
go.
only.
Yeah, it might have to be. Oh boy. Oh boy. Holy dooly. I'm going to do the thing that I do. Have we hit everything? Have we done it? Have we got through
Yes.
everything? Yes.
Move on.
Okay.
Next, do the next thing.
But it's just so possible to descend into the particulars of this episode. There's so much in this episode.
There's a lot
So
going on.
many little things, and I know we've forgotten everything. I say it every time because every time it's true. I wish we had all the time that if you added up everything I say, I wish I had that amount of time to talk about this episode. I'm sure you guys would too. But can we give a little bit more. I know I've given credit to Geraldine Hakewell, and I know I've given credit to Kurt Fernley, and I know I've given credit to Stuart Heritage.
Of course.
Yeah.
But can we give a little bit more credit where credit's due?
I think that's a great idea.
Let's cue those drums. And we'll say that today, credit where credit's blue goes to All in Good Time.
I tried so hard not to break.
Hey,
he had the screen on, and I'm like,
Hey,
oh, he's prepared.
no, Mike's
wait,
I
no,
opened the
he's-
wrong video. My excuse this time is I didn't have it open. Where's the screenshots? I didn't have it open because
How long's this episode
No.
now?
I didn't have it open because I had all my notes for all the other things and research that I did open. And I don't usually have that open because I don't usually do any research.
Going for about
But here we
2.5
go.
years.
Well, here it comes. In the animation department, Alice Holmes.
Hooray!
Thank you so much, Alice. Alice looks like they joined us in season 2 as a layout artist, big layout artist all the way through season 2. And then season 3, designer role in lots of the episodes. Alice, you put yourself into this show, and we can't express our gratitude enough for it. You are getting this credit because credit is blue and it's due unto you, Alice Holmes. Thank you.
Alice!
Alice! And thank you, Martin. But mostly Alice.
Yeah. Alice! Alice.
And there it is. What a surprise. What a surprising thing. Is it surprising that this took us over an hour? Is that surprising?
Not really.
I don't think that's surprising.
Aisle
It's getting less
300.
yeah. Do I say left of the fake grass?
No.
No. So what do I say? Do I say aisle 300?
Yes, that's what you usually say, Brendan.
Okay. Well, you said it. I didn't want to step on your line.
Yeah.
Oh, I
That's-
didn't want to
that's
step
the
on you
joke.
stepping on my line.
That's the joke.
That's the joke. Aisle 300?
Because the best jokes are the ones you have to explain. Left of the fake grass.
That's the way I've always operated.
And if you hit a flamingo, you've gone too far.
There you go.
What?
The normal one.
That's outrageous.
I'm as surprised as ever.
Created and produced by Frank, Brendan and Marty. You can follow the Hammerbarn Project on facebook.com/HammerbarnProj, at HammerbarnProj on Twitter, or Hammerbarn_project on Instagram. Theme featuring Nibblings, Kaylee, Jade, Ashley and Reese, and PA announcements by brother-in-law, me, Josh. Thanks for listening, and remember to get down to Hammerbarn for cheap shovels.